bit about news and how that affects trades, and ultimately about how you set yourself up for success so you don't get caught out if you haven't reviewed the news or you're not familiar with fundamentals or how they play out and affect trading. What you really want to do is use this strategy to map things out the week ahead. So on a Sunday, sit down, figure out what important news is going to affect your trading style and map it out on the chart. So we're just gonna, today is I think it's Tuesday today. We're gonna look at basically Tuesday and Monday, and then we're gonna map out the remaining Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So you would really do this on a Sunday, but just as a starting point. So let me hop over to Forex Factory. So great website, great way to kind of find out what's going on, you know, what potentially can affect markets, what can, you know, provides a bit of a shake up in terms of TA. If you're just a technical analysis trader, more often than not, technical analysis goes right out the window when fundamental news is impactful. So we're on Forex Factory. You can select what day you want to what day you want to look at. You can look at the week. In fact, let's look at this week. Let's do it this way. So just as a quick kind of information snapshot, in terms of how you validate different elements, if we take, let's say the flash, this is the flash PMI, right? If we select this little folder here, so this is what we had last on the previous update. This is what we expected, but this is what we actually got. So we were lower than what we anticipated by about, well, three data points or 3%. Now, if you open this up, what this states is usual effect. If the actual is greater than the forecast, that's good for currency. Now, I trade Bitcoin exclusively. I don't really trade anything else. So I know if something affects currency in a good way, as in it's beneficial for currency, then I know that's going to be negative, usually anyway, for Bitcoin. Now, the one that I focus most on is the US dollar, because the US dollar is kind of what I'm looking for. So if the DXY goes up, converse to that or adverse to that is the is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin does the opposite to whatever the dollar does. If the dollar's going up, Bitcoin goes down, and vice versa, because we are inversely correlated to that. So what am I looking for? So I'm looking for anything that is as a high impact. They're the red folders. I don't need to know the ins and outs. It's good to know the ins and outs of what these actually mean, but at this stage, I'm not too fussed about where we are with that. I just need to know what can impact the market in one way or the other. Because the results are going to be instantaneous. Unless you are some sort of insider, you don't know which way the actuals are going to come out, as you know, compared to the forecast. So not always easy to anticipate it, but what we need to do is figure out where in the chart that can be affected. So I'm really only interested in the USA right now, because that's the global market. So now I am looking at, what time is this? This was 2:45 p.m. So we had both the flash services PMI and we had the flash manufacturing PMI. Both that occurred at 2:45 p.m. on Monday the 24th. So we're just going to hop over to the chart, and we are going to map that out. So Monday, so we're on the 15-minute chart at the moment. We're currently on Monday, which is the 24th. That's fine. Let's put a horizontal line on 2:45 p.m. there. Right, let's label that flash PMI. We also have the manufacturing. Okay, great. That'll do us. Fantastic. Right, so what was next? Let's go back into the Forex calendar, and we can see the next one that will have affected things, which is today, consumer confidence. So this was 3 p.m. gain on the USD. We can see that Actual is greater than forecast is good for currency. The actual was less than forecast, so we'd expect that would be bad for currency, therefore good for, sorry, that would be bad for currency, therefore good for Bitcoin. So that's a good thing. So let's just, if you're shorting, yeah. So 3 p.m. consumer confidence, right? Control copy. Just gonna head back to TradingView, and we'll go and add that in. That was 3 p.m. on the 25th. So 3 p.m. is here. Let's add an horizontal ray. Sorry, a vertical ray. 3 p.m. Let's call that consumer confidence. Okay, next one. So we're going to map out the week effectively, because what we want to see is things that can affect at a glance without needing to worry too much about where things can reside. So next one is, let me just dip back into the report or the calendar. So on the Wednesday, we have a couple for Aussie dollar. I'm not too bothered about them. Some Canadian and some other Canadians. Now this depends on how you feel about you. It depends on what you're trading. If you're not trading Bitcoin, then I don't think I get too bogged down with these. So I would probably not put too much emphasis on Wednesday. What about Thursday? I think these can be quite important. Main refinancing rate and monetary statements. These have a high impact. We also have the advanced GDP. Again, there's a lot of news happening in the US at 1:30 p.m. So we're going to add these ones in. So these will be, that's at 1:15 p.m. on the 26th. Let's head back to TradingView. In TradingView on the 26th, we want 1:15 p.m. Sorry, on the right. We could see others. The thing. Let's see what else we've got. Main financing. We also have monetary policy statement. Okay. That just looks messy, doesn't it? It doesn't matter. Let's keep it in. Okay. Also, on this date, you can't see this, but I'm just going to put the other points in. So we've got the advanced GDP. Copy. Plenty of news happening on a Thursday, and we want to be mindful of that, and that has occurred at 1:30. So let's see. Next one. 1:30. Right next to it. Let me tell you what. Let me just get rid of that. And what else do you don't call? That will do. You know, these are within 15 minutes. Sorry, what have I just done? These are quite close apart, within 15 minutes. Next one would be, let's see, same day. We have the ECB press conference at 1:45. So again, let's mark that out on our chart. 15 minutes later. This is all very nice, isn't it? A lot of news happening. Okay, let's move forward. Next one, we have on the Friday, we have lots for JPY, but again, if you're trading JPY, fantastic. If not, then you probably don't need to worry too much about that. Anything else that's important? Yes, absolutely. We have the core PCE price index month on month, which is at 1:30. Okay, so we're just going to go into here. 130. It's about there. Okay, I'm going to call that there. So the idea here really is just to, spend a bit of time seeing, putting in some line items in terms of your chart, just so you know when the fundamentals are going to hit. Sometimes the medium impact ones can just be as effective. It just depends on how they bear. Now, this one was, although it was kind of put in as high impact, it was quite close to what was expected and maybe didn't really have the effects. I mean, look, we still had a bit of a sell-off moments later, but wasn't as bad. We had the CB consumer report, confidence report again. Not much really. I think we had the initial run up here prior to, and this almost acted as a stop. So it's almost like maybe it was already anticipated. Sometimes, information can slip and people get to hear the news a little bit earlier, which isn't great, but just something to be mindful of. And this is really just a way to, snapshot where things are affecting TA. Now, if we were to run this, much further back, you'll see core CPI inflation data. If there's a Fed meeting, things like that, you will see a massive change in how TA goes right out the window whenever these things are in place. So, just a good way for you as a technical trader to make sure you're incorporating fundamentals into your practice. Don't need to be a economic kind of professor or anything in that sense. You just need to know what can affect the markets and what the impact that can have. So, nice quick one for you. Hopefully you get something out of this, and use Forex Factory just to bring in your fundamental knowledge and add that to your trading plan. But I think that's for it now, really. I'll just leave you with that one and we'll say bye for now.